Coach will talk about the signing of Batuli, is it Kamara?
Mm-hmm.
Macy Morris, Taylor Murray, and Morgan Rich, and then we'll talk about Central Michigan. Coach?
Well, what we try to do in recruiting is identify players who are very high character and who want to come to Kentucky and really develop as players, but also develop as people. And I'm really happy with the 4 players who are joining us. Really high character group, hard workers, very talented, all can come in and really contribute to our program. The 2 kids from Kentucky, Macy Morris is a very, very high level shooting guard and has a great feel for the game. Just when you watch her play, you can just see her basketball IQ is very high, and she just makes what I call winning plays. She just can get the ball in the basket and is not afraid to take the big shot and actually wants the ball in critical moments. So I love that about her. Great family, and they're Wildcat fans, and so it'll be great having Macy here. Morgan Rich is a very explosive athlete. I think she is going to be able to come in and play our up-tempo style and help us defensively and offensively. And her game, she can score, and Macy can too, in all three ways. She can shoot the three. She's got a good mid-range game. She can get to the bucket. She's a very explosive athlete, and real excited about her future here too. So 2 great players from Kentucky that we're very happy to have joining our family. Batuli Kamara is a really highly rated post player, and I would characterize her as a power post player. Very good athlete, can really move, can run, and great explosive jumping ability, but real tough, really well put together, very strong, is very energetic on the court, talks a lot, which is helpful on defense. When you can get your post players talking a lot, it really helps you. And so she is a low post player with some power, can get out on the perimeter and really drive the basketball, good ball handling skills for a post player. So I think she can really develop into a great one here at Kentucky, so we're excited about her. And then Taylor Murray is the last player I'll talk about, but she's certainly not the least member of our recruiting class. She is a Kentucky point guard. She wants to play defense first. She will get her nose up on the ball. Reminds me of those early really good teams we had when Amber Smith would really get up on the ball and harass the ball handler and start her defense. And she is that kind of player. Very fast, very explosive end-to-end with the basketball. Does not turn the ball over. That's another thing that I really love about her. Just makes the simple plays. She's not the kind of point guard that's trying to make real flashy plays and drives you crazy as a coach. She really plays with a high level of intelligence and values the basketball. And so that's terrific for us. And I just think she, as all 4 of these players, are really high character people. Taylor's a really high character young woman, and I can say that for all of them. So we're excited about our recruiting class and looking forward to it. Do we want to ask questions now about the recruiting class? Okay. I did a good job, covered it all there. So now we'll talk about Central Michigan. It's going to be a very difficult game. They're a very fine team, well coached. We had a heck of a game here last year in Memorial, and they have a lot of experience back, and they are an explosive team. They are going to try to spread the floor and really drive the basketball, put a lot of stress on our defensive positioning. We're going to have to play a really clean game. We're going to have to be in the right spots and do a great job with on-ball defense. So We tried to work on that yesterday. We're going to try to work on it today and really guard the ball well tomorrow night. But it'll be a tough game, and they are a very, very dangerous team, and they're really good on their home court. So this is a big challenge for our team to go on the road first time.
You mentioned to me at some point that you were trying to get them to be the best charge-taking team in the country. Is this where that's going to really come in handy?
We'll need to, because I really believe they're going to want to drive the basketball. They you know, run a lot of drive and kick stuff that I think charges will be available in the game. We just have to take them. We did a pretty good job against Morehead State, against Baylor. We bailed out on a few that we needed to take. So it's hard. It's hard to be the best charge-taking team. You really have to not mind the contact. And what we were doing some in the Baylor game is we were bailing out of the charge and moving, and we were in position and just didn't. You got to take that hit and let the officials know that you're there, and it can't be a lot of movement. So it'll be important this game. There's no question about it.
You looked at an early road trip like this.
Well, you know, it's difficult for us. We just haven't had a lot of practice time, and we need to practice, and so, you know, going on the road against a really high quality team that's a tough team to play, and you know, you're just trying to go and play some good basketball, and not a whole lot much else to do there. It's a quick trip. You know, we're going up there tonight and coming back tomorrow night, and so it's just important for us to try to really stay focused. We won't have the home crowd on our side, you know, to bail us out of any types of lapses in energy. And so you really have to focus in on going and playing good basketball here, because we're going to have to play well to win tomorrow night.
Matthew, having said that, is it too early still to evaluate your young front court players?
Yeah, I mean, it's not too early to evaluate them where they are. It's too early to know what they're actually going to be. They're still developing, and you know, I think that that they're developing at a good pace, and they are contributing and doing good things for us. I mean, that was Monday night was a pretty high level game, and you know, all of the young ones functioned well at times. They made plenty of mistakes at times, but you know, I don't think we would have won the game without their contribution. So, you know, they're coming along. They have plenty of room to grow, though. Lots to get better at there for them on both ends of the court, you know, defense and offense. But I like them. They're going to be good players.
I wanted to ask about the referee in the regionals.
Yeah.
When you heard the news, kind of what was your first thought? And kind of now that you've had a day to digest it?
Well, I think it's exciting for a number of reasons. One, I think it's very smart by the NCAA, because I think with this much time to prepare, I think we can get in the community and really get people behind it. And I think it's I've always thought Lexington is exactly what you're looking for. It's a downtown arena. And I think the fans are going to enjoy downtown Lexington. And I just think it's a really good move. With it being 3 years in a row, I've always thought that was smart to try to kind of build an event in a community and try to get that community to buy into it, no matter who's playing. So, you know, we certainly want to be playing in the regionals, and we want to be there, but if you take the Kentucky part out of it, I think it's going to be a really great event, and I think people are going to enjoy it, and I think the people in Lexington are going to benefit from it. I think people coming to visit Lexington are going to benefit from it. So I think it's a smart move. In the conference, SEC, we've talked about trying to get a permanent home for our women's tournament, where you can just really build year after year some momentum for attendance. So I think it'll definitely help if we're playing in it. You know, definitely the attendance will be better. So we'll have to work hard and hopefully take advantage of being able to stay in Lexington and playing. But I think it's a great thing, and we're very, very excited about it, and just think that it can help the game of women's basketball really grow by bringing it to a place that supports it.
Does it help you? Or could it help you?
Well, you know, I still think we've been so fortunate. Is it 4 years in a row we've gone Sweet 16? You know, we've advanced to the regionals, and it's just so hard to do. So, you know, I don't know when is it, 17, 18, and 19, 16? So, you know, we don't really know what our team's going to be like next year, and I don't know how good we can be. But for us, it'll be a great thing out there in the distance to work toward and to work for. But I'm telling you, those first two games, you just don't know what's going to happen, and I'll be real excited if we can advance. It'll be huge. If we can get to the Sweet 16, I think it'll be really big for us. It's just a lot that goes into getting there, so it'll be. We'll see what happens, but we're really, really happy. Appreciate the administration going through the process, and you know, I didn't know where we would end up with it, so really excited and thankful that everybody worked so hard to get it here, and I think it'll be good for us.
How key has it been for you this season, and do you think it'll be down the line that you have three almost primary ball handlers, people that you know can distribute and sort of anticipate what's going to happen the way that you guys do this season?
Yeah, I think it's important, and it's an important advantage because again, we're not the most explosive, dynamic post player, so we're not shot blocking, and we have to be strategic when we throw it into the post against bigger players, and we have to use technique. So our guard play, being able to get out and really stress transition defense, you know, in the second half, we really started getting some really wide open, clean shots against Baylor. And Baylor was a little bit bigger than us in the post, and so it was really great that we could get the ball to wide open spots because of our pace, because I don't know that we can just go toe-to-toe every single possession. We're going to have to do that some, but I think some of the top teams in the country are a little bit bigger than we are, so I think the guard play gives us a chance to be really good, and it helps us overcome some of our deficiencies. So, you know, that's why we work every day on trying to be a really, really fast and up-tempo team, and having people that can handle the ball allows you to do that. And when you put all three of them on the floor together, which we had at the end of the game, Baylor game, you can do a few things. If you can guard them with that group, then you can really do some things offensively. So it's a great luxury to have. And going back to the Baylor game, you know, they really had one primary ball handler, and she is so good. But if we can, you know, if you can finally try to wear her down, and it took us 38 minutes and 30 seconds to finally get that one big turnover. We were up one, and I think it was just fatigue, and she turned the ball over. And so, you know, she was awfully tough, but most teams only have one primary ball handler, and so we're very fortunate to have three people that can do it.
I want to go back to the charge taking team for a second. Other than Bria, is there somebody that you're starting to kind of look to as the person who can do that or will do that?
That's interesting. You know, Kyvan's taken the most. And so she's really done a good job. Alyssa Rice really, really wants to do it. And that's so great for us because she is sort of right there in between being big enough to block shots, but we just believe that when we start playing people that are a little bit bigger, that the time we spend on her taking charges is worth more than letting her get in there and try to block some shots. So she's done a really nice job. It's oftentimes it has to be the post players because they're the ones that are down there and rotating over to help. And so Asia does not particularly like to do it. She's trying, and she's, you know, getting there. Alexis did everything she could to get out of the way of one against Morehead State, but got run over, so we are cheering for that, and she just couldn't get out of the way of it. So I looked at her, and she's still alive, and she's still breathing, and so they are not fatal to you. They won't kill you if you'll take them. You'll be all right, and so the post players need to do a good job, and it's great. We have two of them that are really searching for them and trying to get it done, and I'm telling you, it's key to our team. But then you have Jennifer's taking them, and like you said, Bria's taking them, and Janae's taking them. So we've got everybody sort of in the act. Not everybody. We got a lot of people in the act right now, and if we can get everybody taking them, it'll make us a better defensive team.
Do you have a specific drill that you use regularly is it a daily thing? Is it a?
Well, in the preseason and early in team practices, we took them just about every day, and so you have two ball handlers out on the wing, and they're coaches with a pad, and so they don't know which way it's coming, and they go. So then they have to rotate out, take the charge, and then the other coach who didn't rolls their ball, and they have to get up off the floor and then go dive on the ball and then get up and run down and shoot a shot. So we call it our hustle drill. But we everybody would rotate through that, so everybody would have to take those charges. And then we get reps in our we have a footwork progression every day that includes taking some charges. So just about every day we're going to do it. But I think it was that early on, that was the first thing we would do every day, because I knew how important this team, we just couldn't pay lip service to it. We really had to instill it. And so if we ever get some practice time back here, that'll always be a big part of our practice, is trying to make sure that it's mentally ingrained. That's what you have to do. You just have to really emphasize it because it's not the most pleasant part of the game. I don't know that anyone would rate that best part of practice, but it's very, very important that we're good at it.
Anything else you got?
Thanks, everybody.
Stay out snowdrifts.
Oh, I know, for real.
You have any pictures?
Yeah. I wanna see your shit.
Where's the big 6'9" girl? Where is she?
Yeah.
She's only, wasn't she?
She's just a junior.
Who that? The 6'9" girl you had